Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are taking a look at the Kansept Caveman. That's with the ultimate goal of seeing if it's worth adding to your collection or your daily carry rotation. Now, I did get this knife from the Lefty Pass-Around group. It was designed by Jesse Pauley, and the OEM, of course, Kansept Knives. All right, so jumping right into it, we've got this really nice black washed titanium with beautiful jungle fat carbon inlay. I wish it was on both sides. It is not. Kind of a bummer. Even just a little strip would have been perfect. But that's okay. It is what it is. We have a deep carry milled titanium fat pocket clip. I just feel like they could have. I feel like there's an inside joke there somewhere. You know, it's a caveman. I don't know. Who knows? We do have this really nice 50% backspacer. And I'm just noticing this screw is awfully proud. Is that all the way in? Please, please. Yeah, that's all the way in. Okay. Well, it's just like it's like the only proud screw. Everything else is totally flush. I don't understand. I mean, you see that, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Okay. That is what it is. But stylistically, it looks good. I mean, everything is, just kind of this semi-glossy black. Like everything catches the light. And then this green fat carbon looks really, really good. I like that they gave it a slant here and here. It gives it a faux bolster look that I really dig. As we can see on the back, there's no full bolster. So we have a direct comparison. This looks nicer and cleaner to me. All right, let's talk about ergonomics. So as far as the ergos go, we have some pretty big suggestions. We can get back here, and our three fingers fit nicely right in this first, I don't even know what I'd call it. All right, three fingers fit great, and then our pinky has this fat landing area back here, right? So it's very comfortable. I can hammer fist it. I have large size gloves, and I've got plenty of room to spare. You can choke up, and you have a very comfortable choke up position. I've got plenty of room between my finger and that point, and even if I push up hard against it, I'm still not actually touching that point. Good functional jimping. I say good as in it's effective in keeping you in place, but it's not very comfortable. It looks like a caveman took a bite out of this, which is I'm gonna say appropriate for the knife. But yeah, ergonomically, this thing is a dream. Super comfortable. Pocket clip disappears in your hand, probably because of the big fat space right here. It just your palm just rests up against it, and it just disappears. As opposed to something that was real skinny and pointy. This is nice. Talking about the blade a little bit here. We've got it's a sheep's foot. I was confusing myself a little bit, but we have a really deep swedge, kind of like a sloping brow swedge here, which is cool. We are rocking a medium height flat grind, and this is going to be good general purpose EDC use. It's not hard to get that tip down. You don't have to elevate yourself super high. So the tip is low enough to be functional, and then you've got all this belly. So like you can do your rocking cuts if you want to, like if you're preparing like celery or maybe like carrots or something like that. Sorry for the shake. And then you can use this tip to bust into boxes, dog food, cat food, stuff like that. So as far as the blade goes, it is very functional. It is got this black stone wash. We are rocking 20 CV. And then billboarding's not crazy. We have this little caveman here holding what is either a knife or corn on the cob. And then we've got our Kansept logo, which I think looks pretty cool, so I don't mind it. And then down here we've got our K111082 20CV, and then right here it says Caveman. So nothing too abhorrent. We'll talk about the action a little bit. Oops. So the action on this knife feels fantastic. If we do the 3-6-9, pointing at 3 o'clock, pointing at 6 o'clock, then we rotate to the 9, we are not quite there. But I'm willing to bet that's because of the blade finish, because it does have kind of a chalky sound to it, which makes me think that it's the detent ball rubbing up against the finish that's kind of causing that like chalky sound. Without that, though, I imagine this would be hydraulic close. But the action feels fantastic. You can reverse flick, thumb flick. The acoustics on the way up are great. Nice, loud, positive lockup. Acoustics on the drop are nice. The that ashy sound is like bonus acoustics to me. Sorry for the shake. That's what I'm talking about. That sound right there. Bonus acoustics. You know, I'm going to say this, guys. I am saving up as much as I can to have my setup to where it's not an arm on my desk that I bump into, but that it's something that hangs from above, which is going to give me superior lighting and make it to where it's unbumpable. So we are saving up for some quality of life adjustments. I'm also going to get a microphone. That way you guys aren't dealing with me talking like this sometimes, You know what I'm saying? So we've got changes coming. We just gotta, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta paper up. But no, action on this thing is phenomenal. Really fidgety, really fun. It's not, the blade's got some heft to it, so it's a different type of fidgety. So like, as opposed to something like this, where it's like really tiny and the blade just kind of pops out, the blade is like no weight to it. Some of the detent, some of the weight, or rather some of the force that you overcome isn't just the detent ball and the lock bar pressure, but it's actually the weight of the blade too. And it's not a bad thing. That's just where part of the action's coming from. But overall, it feels fantastic. All right, so let's talk about some numbers. For an overall length, we are at 8.21 inches. We have a blade length of 3.57 inches, and we have a blade to handle ratio of 0.77. So anything above 0.7 is acceptable. The closer we are to 0.8 is whenever we start to kind of get that Shirogorov look 50-50. So this isn't doing too bad. And actually, I think they make it look better because this is blacked out, so it almost looks like this is the handle and the blade's going to fold in. That's not the case, but it would be cool. Yeah, makes it look like this disappears. You got this big old chonker blade. The weight on this is, so the website said 6.33 ounces. Don't get me wrong. It's a heavier knife, but I don't know if I believe that. Okay, 5.8 ounces. That makes a little more sense. I don't know why their website says 6.33. All right, so yeah, still a bit of a chonker, right? Still kind of a heavy knife, but it's a big knife, so I understand. Let's do size comparisons up against the milled aluminum Civivi Brazen, the third best Civivi ever made next to the Visions. Pull out the real steel Sylph. So we are coming in pretty spot on close to the Brazen, and we're coming in quite a bit longer than the real steel. And then my favorite budget knife of the year so far, the Migaron Gotov. And we are head and shoulders above the Gotov. All right, so what's the price on this guy? So there's a range, but it's between like $228, and $250. So is this knife worth $228 to $250? Yes. Now, it's not generally recommendable to everybody. because not everybody wants a knife that is, 5.8 ounces. Not everybody wants a knife that's 8 and some change, right? But Kansept is fantastic at delivering some of the best materials and some of the best blade steel with a hyper stylized look, like for some of the lowest prices you can get, right? So, like if you could imagine we pumping out a knife like this, you're looking at like $300 easily, $300. So, Kansept. If you would have told me like, because there's different tiers, right? Like Artisan will give you, something similar to 20 CV in titanium. They'll do it for 199, right? But it's not going to have, fat carbon fiber. It's not going to have this black wash, this black stone wash look to it, right? So they've rooted themselves at 199 for premium steel, all titanium. So for just a few bucks more, Kansept is giving you this finish, this style, and the fat carbon, right? And then we will do the same thing and then just charge like 50 to $100 more for it, right? So I think Kansept has done a really good job with their value proposition here. It's a great blade steel, super cool fat carbon inlays, and it looks like a freaking caveman, right? Like big sloping brow, right? Big goofy smile, right? We've got the jungle fat carbon. Like this looks like a prehistoric tool, and I'm here for it. I mean, if you could imagine, because everyone likes Artisan Cutlery stuff at $199. I do too. I love their knives. I think they deliver a fantastic value at $200. But basically, for an extra 30 to $50, you're getting the extra finish and you're getting the fat carbon scales. So to me, this is the same value proposition that Artisan delivers at $199, right? I feel like they're hitting the same niche. So yeah, I would say this knife is definitely worth it. And that's not including if you go to White Mountain Knives and use code S7, that's going to take 10% off, right? So if it's $250, then it's going to be $225, and if it's say $228, then it's going to be like $206, $207, something like that. So yeah, absolutely, fantastic knife, fantastic value. For me, this would be a daily user, not a collection piece, and that's because this finish is going to do a really good job of hiding wear and damage. And I think, is that micro milling? Ever so slightly. It's got some lines going through it. It ever so slightly looks like it's micro milled. I can't feel it though, so no, it's not. It just really looks like it is. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it looks like there's diagonal lines going through it. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Oh well. Let me ask you though, is this something that would be a collection piece for you? Is this something you would daily carry? Or does this knife miss the mark for you completely? I'm really curious to read your thoughts down in the comments. If you like the video, guys, hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe. Until the next time, peace.